We will wait for a couple of minutes and we'll let people join. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can ask. Um, Hello, we have someone in chat. So, yeah, how are you doing? User 001. How is data science masters for SAP experienced candidates? Uh, Personally, I mean, I think it's fine. SAP is also something which is used for data storing and data organization, things like that. And there are a lot of platforms which can be directly connected to SAP, and SAP knowledge can be leveraged. So yes, it is good. Um, but if you think about it, if you just want to have that SAP knowledge, I think it's not good enough. But of course, when you will do your masters in data science, you will learn quite a lot of things. So there are a lot of skills which are transferable. So I would say it is still good. And if you compare someone without any experience, and if you compare someone who has experience in SAP or related things, it's always good to have some experience. So I would say, yeah, it is a good option. And also, if you can let me know in the chat if you can hear me, okay? If you can hear me, okay, just type yes in the chat. Applied or scalar, which is best? I have access to both. Um, I think scalar has taken applied, right? So I think more or less they both will be same. Educators are going to be same, but I would still prefer applied, um, because now that you have access to both, so you can learn from either of those. I would say, because if you have access to both, we don't need to consider the financial factors. So I would say applied AI course is better, is because it is being covered by Shrikant Verma from start till the end. I don't know what's the case with the scalar. Is he going to be taking classes for all the modules, or is he going to just teach a subsection of that course? So just because of that, I would prefer applied AI. But if he is the educator for the whole course, I would say both are same. Which subjects are most important for data science interview? Is it Python, NumPy, Pandas, or is it statistics? I would say statistics is more important, because Python, NumPy, Pandas, Python, yes, as a programming language, you need to know ins and outs of Python. You need to understand how Python works. You need to know what all functionality Python provides. So that is there, but NumPy Pandas maybe not that much, is because they have got a lot of functions and you can't really remember everything. So there is no point in asking questions related to those. Yes, they are very popular. You will be using those packages on daily basis, but you are not going to remember everything. So they don't really ask these questions in interviews. Maybe one or two here and there, yeah, they might ask. But if you have worked enough, you will remember those things automatically. So you don't really have to specifically prepare for interview related to NumPy and Pandas. But for statistics, yes, there can be a lot of different type of questions. Statistics is very important for any data science interview. And I've recently started creating shorts videos. So where I've given you the questions, and in the comments and description, you will find the answer as well. So if you go to the short section of my YouTube channel, you will be able to find some. So I try to put those videos every day, if not every day, at least alternate days. So far, I think there are 9 to 10 questions, but I have made those videos. I just need to write the answer for those. So there are more 10-15 questions, so I will post them in coming weeks. But if you want to prepare, yeah, you can follow those short videos. I have opened a new bank account for 28 funds saving day because I didn't have RBI approved bank account. Is it going to make any issue for visa? No, I don't think it will pose any issues, because all they want to see is your funds are 28 days old. So I think you should be fine. And if they still ask why did you open a new bank account, you can always tell them that my previous bank account was not RBI approved, so you should be fine. Will LinkedIn help fresher for junior data science role, etc.? Yes, you can find quite a lot of entry level roles there. You can find quite a lot of graduate roles. So I would say, yeah, LinkedIn is a good platform. How is the job market for data field there? Will it get better in upcoming years? So I don't know, to be honest. And job market, I would say it is still not great. There are jobs, don't get me wrong, and it is not like it is impossible to find a job if you put in effort, if you make good profile, resume, and all those kind of things. Yes, it is possible to find a job, but it is highly competitive. Is because a lot of people are coming for masters. Many people have been laid off, so everyone is in job market looking for a job. So the job market is very competitive, but with good amount of effort, with the right amount of effort and time that you invest, it is totally possible to find something. And so far, it's good that you're getting 2 years of post-study work visa. So I think 2 years is a good time to be able to find something relevant. Any other questions? How to get an internship or job in placement year? I am coming for MSc Business Analytics. So there are multiple things that you can do to find internship or job. Will university help for this? Yes, they can help. You might be able to find something within the university, so that is also an option. And for that, you need to have good contacts within the university. You can probably ask your professors. You can ask career service team. They usually know what all openings are there within the university, so you will be able to find those. As for other kind of support that university or the career service team they provide are resume building, profile building, sometimes interview preparation as well. So they do help you in all those kind of things. Universities sometimes do conduct job fairs. So sometimes they are good, sometimes they are not. So that is also something which is worth trying. Other thing is you should participate in hackathons. In hackathons, you should be able to find quite a lot of relevant connections. And apart from that, I would highly suggest going to meetups. There also you will find a lot of like-minded people. I would say data science specific meetups or business analytics or data analytics specific meetups. So there also you'll be able to find quite a lot of like-minded people, and you should be able to find something there. Apart from all these things, yes, there are a lot of different online portals where you can apply. For example, LinkedIn. So yeah, those are the things that you can do to find internship and job. Hi Vijay, I was wondering what are some of the graduate role jobs available if students are to apply after their first semester studies. What skills are needed for these kind of jobs? Usually for graduate role, they don't really ask you very complex questions, but it also depends on how much experience you have. So if you are someone who is a fresher who don't have too much experience, so they will check your coding skills, they will check your data structures algorithms, they might give you some aptitude questions to solve. They sometimes also give you take home assignments, so those you can take. In the interview they will ask you if they have given you any um, take home assignment. They will discuss about your approach, why did you choose that, and maybe some questions related to data science and the tools and concepts that you have used to solve those assignments. So that will be the kind of interview that you can expect. Maybe not always they will ask questions related to data structures, but yes, they will check your programming skills. They will give you some hacker rank problem solving. So you can choose your own programming language. It could be Python, it could be any other programming language which you feel you are comfortable with. So you can use those. But yeah, they will test those kind of things. Apart from applied AI course, what are other skill set help you to land data science role? You don't really have to take applied AI course. Uh, I have a video about data scientist skills needed to find a job. So I will post the link of that video in the chat so that will give you a better understanding. So this is the video. I put the link in the chat. Which exams scores are required before I apply to universities? Um, in the UK, you don't need GRE. If you have IELTS or TOEFL, you should be fine. I would say IELTS is more popular. I think all the universities they do accept TOEFL as well, so you should be fine if you have TOEFL score. But if you haven't taken any English assessment exams, I would say go for IELTS. If you are applying to countries like US, maybe Canada, Canada is also fine just with IELTS. Maybe in Germany you might need GRE, but again, there also it's not mandatory. So if you are applying to US, GRE is mandatory, and for US you don't need IELTS. But if you are just asking for UK, I think you should be fine with IELTS score. Hi Asutosh. Okay, so what are the chances of getting those kind of graduate role jobs? Are they tough to get, like internship slash full-time jobs? Um, Again, it is very specific to the individual. What kind of knowledge you have, what kind of skill sets you have. Because I was able to clear the graduate role interview with ease, I would say. I won't say it was very easy, but yeah, it wasn't that hard. But I have seen some of the people, they have applied for multiple graduate roles, but they could not clear the interview. They were able to clear one or two rounds, but then they couldn't clear the whole thing. So I won't say it will be very easy, but I will also not say that it is very hard. So it is very much dependent on you, what type of skill set you have. So it's a hard question to answer actually. You changed the room. Yeah, it's been a while. I think I moved to this place in January. Yeah, so that's when I moved in. Maybe I think I've just moved the camera a little bit on this side. Previously, it used to be something like this. So yeah, but it's been almost 6 months now. But yeah, last time I remember talking to you, um, it was last year. So I think you have joined some of the live streams when I moved here, but yeah, if you're just talking about the camera angle, yes, I have changed. But yes, I remember you joining the live stream last year, so it was a different room. I've worked on project, namely vehicle counting. Yeah, it sounds like a computer vision problem. How much time should we give to those graduate role jobs if I get one? Are they like part time types where we have to work? No, it's not like that. Graduate roles are full time roles, so you have to work 40 hours a week. So yeah, it's a full time role. It's named as graduate role is because it is mainly for people who are in the early part of their career, or people who are making transition from very different job role to data science. So maybe if you're moving from, let's say, accounting or pharmacy to data science, so yeah, for those people it is termed as graduate roles. And also they provide quite a lot of training in the initial days, and also they give you work based on rotation, so they will put you in different teams. They will place you with software developers, they will place you with business analysts, they will place you with data analysts, if it's a generic role. And then after experiencing all those things, you can make your decision in which part you want to go to, which one you like the most. But again, it will also be dependent on the business requirements. So if they feel like everyone is going to data science or data analysis, and so they will have to prioritize based on the performance. So if you have performed really well in data science, they will give you that. But if you haven't performed very well in data science but you want to go to data science, they might give you something else where you have performed much better as compared to the data science role. So it is also something like that. But if it is specifically mentioned that data science graduate role, then you don't really have to worry, you will get data science related work. But it's just involves some of the trainings, and they will give you some technical training, they will give you some soft skill training. So those things are also involved in that. Could you suggest some portfolio building strategy? I want take gigs from Upwork. Also, I want internship in computer science in Germany or UK and some European nation. Mm, I would say GitHub is probably the best portfolio. So whatever projects you're doing, try to portray it as uh, production ready project. So whenever you go to any GitHub repository, when you see any open source project, you will see that they have structured the project quite well. They have added a readme file how they can execute that code. And also when you see the code, it should be structured very nicely with all the comments and stuff. So make sure that you have done all those things before putting that on your GitHub. If you want some examples, you can go to my GitHub and see some of the repositories, like how I've structured the folder, how I've written the readme file. Having said that, it's not like uh, that is the best you will be able to find. There are some other repositories which are really nice. I have done bare minimum with whatever is required. So yeah, you can get some idea from my GitHub repository, but I would also suggest checking out some popular open source repositories, and there you will be able to find some good information. So try to structure your own GitHub repository just like that, and also add whatever information is being displayed on the front page of your GitHub profile, because it gives a very good impression that yes, you are well aware of GitHub, and you know how to present your code files. So yeah, I would suggest that would be a good start. How is the job market in Newcastle for business analytics role? I have a year internship experience as a data analyst. Will this help me to get a job? Yes, any kind of experience will certainly help, and you have a data analyst experience, so it is something which will certainly be considered. If you specifically ask just for Newcastle, yes, the jobs are there, but very, very limited. So when you are looking for a job, I would always suggest keep your uh, try to look for jobs UK wide, and don't specifically look for a particular role unless and until you have some very specific requirements. If you have some limitations that you can't move to another city, then yes, you will have to look into a specific location. So for Newcastle, there are roles. Lot of my friends who completed their masters from Newcastle University or Northumberland University, they were able to find something within Newcastle or close by areas. But then a lot of people, they move to bigger cities like London, Manchester, and places like those. So yeah, uh, you should be able to find something in Newcastle if you just want to stay in Newcastle. How much Python one should learn before joining MSc Data Science? Mm, I would say you should be comfortable enough to write Python code, And by comfortable, what I mean is you should be able to build logic. You should be think in a Python way. So if, for example, you have given a problem to solve, so let's say matrix multiplication. So you can do it using NumPy very simply. You don't really have to write a lot of code, but I would suggest writing it using plain Python. So if you are able to build a logic for that, you're good. You can, I mean, that shows that yes, you have understanding about how Python works and how to build logic using programming language. So that is something which I would suggest. Apart from that, if you learn some packages like pandas, NumPy, matplotlib for plotting and stuff, that would be added advantage. But I think the main thing which I always see in people they are struggling with, it's about building logic. So if you are able to write logic in Python, I think you're fine, because picking up any Python package is not a big deal. They follow similar kind of structure, so that's a good thing. Yes, there are a lot of different type of functions which nobody can remember. I have been coding in Python for like what 7 8 years now, and maybe 5 6 5 years for data science. So I've been using pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib on a daily basis for all these years, but I still don't remember everything. So it's hard for anyone to remember everything. So at some point you will have to use Google, which is totally fine. But one thing I would suggest is to be able to build logic. That is very important. And to be able to build logic, you need to know different data structures in Python. So list, tuple, sets, dictionary, how to use those data structures in Python. You need to know that. You need to understand loops. You need to understand conditional statements like if else. So if you understand those things, you need to understand functions. Functions, I have seen a lot of people struggling with. Um, Apart from that, error handling, file handling, yes, you can learn, but ultimately, when you will be dealing with large data sets, you will be using various packages like pandas. So that is fine. So those are the things which you should cover before joining MSc Data Science. So if it's a full-time job, then how can a master's data science student manage time for study? How did you go about it, if you could share? So they don't give you joining until you finish your masters. You cannot join those job roles while you're doing your masters. So ultimately, when you will finish your masters, you will be joining those roles. So you will have all the time to do that job. I'm learning Python from Udemy, but for practice, can you please suggest any website? Um, I personally prefer lead code. So on lead code, you will find quite a lot of problems, and there you can just go and practice your Python programming. There are others, Code Chef, Hacker Rank. So those are some of the good platforms that you can try. So whichever you feel works best for you, you can try those. For me, I personally liked lead code. I'll put that in the chat. So when should one apply for those graduate role jobs after their first semester? Yes, because the thing about graduate role is they start hiring people when they are in their second semester or they have completed their first semester, is because they know that you have learned something, so they can assess you on those things. And also they are not in a hurry that you need to join that particular role immediately, so they will give you 5 6 months to join the company. Because when I had applied for a graduate role, I applied in January. I had offer by the end of January or maybe first week of Feb, and my joining was in October. So they give you quite a lot of time to join, and also by that time you will finish your masters. So are they like a contract full time type, like full time for 6 months, 1 year? Mm, yeah, usually the graduate roles are for 1 year to 18 months. After that, you will be moving to a normal role, not a graduate role. So, data analyst, data scientist, business analyst, software developer, um developer consultant, things like that. So, yeah, usually they are for 1 year to 18 months. So, are they good paying types? They pay you sufficient enough, and I would say they pay you at par with entry level jobs or any junior role. So I don't see any pay discrimination in those. It again depends on city to city. So the offer that I had for graduate role, it was 33K pound in Newcastle, and I had a lot of friends. They joined as junior data engineer, junior data scientist. They were also getting 32K. So I don't see too much pay discrimination between junior roles or graduate roles. Out of it would be for a master student to crack sponsorship job. Is it true that by the end of PSW, if a person don't get sponsored job, he should return to his home country? Um, How hard is it to find a sponsorship job? So it depends on how much experience you have. So if you have good amount of experience and if you are going for some sort of senior level roles, yes, you should be able to find a sponsorship job. But if you are going for entry level jobs, usually companies don't sponsor those kind of roles, is because all the companies have certain number of sponsorships that they can provide. So usually they save those sponsorships for senior level roles or relatively senior level roles. Having said that, it's not like companies don't sponsor at all for junior roles. So if you join a company, you work there for, let's say, 6 7 months on your post study work visa, and they think like, yes, you are a good addition to the company, you are contributing, and your contribution is very valuable. You can talk to your manager, and they will be happy to sponsor your visa. So yes, that's how you can take things. Is it true? Yes, you have to leave the country if you are not able to find a sponsorship by the end of your post study work visa. I see many part time opportunities as data analyst in job portal. Will they give it to master students currently pursuing? Yes, usually part time roles are designed for students who are currently pursuing their masters or bachelors. So, yes, they will be open to give you those opportunities. How many days I have to attend the university in a week? So it depends from university to university. For my university, it was for first semester it was 4 days a week, and in second semester it was 5 days a week. So every day you had to go. But for few modules, even in second semester, we had to go for thrice or maybe 4 times a week. So that is what. But you don't really have to stay in university the whole day. I mean, if you want, yes, you can, but classes will only last for 2 hours to maybe 3 hours. If there are labs, the labs will be for 3 hours continuously. But once you are done with your work in the lab, if you have any queries, you can ask. But once you're done with your work in lab, you can leave at whatever time you want. It's not like you have to compulsorily sit for 3 hours. So our labs were quite flexible. I don't know about other universities, so it may vary from university to university. How will be the part-time and full-time job opportunities for data analyst or data scientist in Liverpool versus Cardiff? Which one to prefer? I would prefer Liverpool over Cardiff, is because the population density in Liverpool is more as compared to Cardiff's, and population density tells you about how many people are living there, and if so many people are living there, that tells you there are more number of jobs. So yeah, I if I had to pick, I would pick Liverpool. Let me quickly find that um, population density chart if I could find. I could find for England. It is there on my phone. So I don't know if you can see it properly, but if you see here, this is Liverpool. So the population density is quite high. So yeah, and this is where London is. and here is Newcastle. How is your current job? What kind of work day in your job? Um, I do quite a lot of thing apart from technical stuff as well. So technical stuff will always be there. So I have to create a lot of different type of visualization. So I can use Power BI, I can use Python, whatever I want. I work on different type of machine learning models as well to predict different things. I work with business team to understand their business needs and also to write a lot of other things which I can't really talk about. But yeah, that is the kind of work I have. It's very, the team itself is very interdisciplinary. So it's always nice to talk to them to understand more about the domain. And then once I have some understanding of domain, it makes life a bit easier to understand the data, whatever I'm analyzing there, and also to be able to understand their requirements. And there are a lot of different team. It's a multi-billion-dollar company, so you would always obviously know that there are so many teams, and we always have to interact to all the different team and understand what they are doing. And we also need to make sure that we don't reinvent a wheel, is because it's just wasting time. So first we need to understand if this has been already done within the organization, so we can take that part and then we can add our own needs to it. So those kind of things. And also I'm also doing some data engineering with the core IT team. So I'm doing quite a lot of things which I'm personally enjoying. So yeah, that is what my current role looks like. And if I just talk about the working hour and the format, it's hybrid one. So I have to go to office once a week, and my day starts at 8 a.m. in the morning. I can end at 4:30 or 5, but it again depends on how much workload I have. If there is a lot of things to do, it can go all the way up to 7 or 8. It's not like someone's forcing me to do, it's my responsibility. If I want to stay online until 7, it's my choice. So, and I don't really mind that, is because whatever I'm doing, I like it. But yes, if there is a day where I have some other thing to take care of outside work, I am allowed to go and do that. The most important thing is to deliver on time. So yeah. I chose University of Liverpool as MSc Data Science and AI. Kindly advise what kind of laptops and accessories I need to carry from India. Please also mention the specification for the same. Uh, I would say you don't really need a very high spec laptop unless you want to build something on your own, you want to have your own startup and all those kind of things. If you have ideas, if you want to build things on your own, you may want to take high-end spec laptop. But just to do your master's course, I would say if you have i5, I mean, the recommended spec that I will say is i7 16 gigs of RAM. That's all. You can take SSD, yes, 512 GB or maybe 1 TB. That is totally up to you. What I'm saying is you don't necessarily need to invest in GPU, and you save quite a lot of money when you don't invest in high-end GPU. Is because when you go to the university, they will provide you all the resources, so you don't really need to work on your own laptop. You can use university's resources. But yes, there will be time if they are giving you access to, let's say, Azure cluster or maybe AWS, whatever the university is using, you will have to run those things on your own laptop. And as a data scientist, data analyst, I personally open like 1,000 tabs in my Edge browser or even in Chrome browser, and that eats up quite a lot of memory. So for that, I need to have good amount of RAM and good amount of uh, CPU resource. So if you want to use laptop for a longer term, I would suggest going for 16 gigs of RAM, i7. You can also go for Ryzen. I have personally in on my personal laptop I have Ryzen 9. You can go for Ryzen 7. You don't have to go for Ryzen 9. It's expensive. And for SSD, you can go for 1 TB SSD. I won't suggest hard disk drive. So yeah, I will say go for SSD. That is the kind of spec that I would recommend. So yeah, don't spend too much on your on GPU unless you want to game. If you're a gamer, then yes, you can't resist yourself to not go for GPU. You're very welcome, Abhishek. While you were doing your masters, like how many hours a week did you work on your profile or learning other than course work at university? It's hard to put in hours because it's very much varied depending on how much workload I have from university. So whenever I used to get time, I used to work on my LinkedIn. I used to uh, work on my GitHub. GitHub was very important, so I used to spend quite a lot of time on GitHub. Apart from that, I also used to work on some different side projects. Those were not like I had to do. I was just interested in those. So those were not really, I was not doing those projects keeping in mind that I want to improve my profile. I was doing those projects just out of interest because I thought those were interesting use cases. So it was just that. But again, I used to put them as well on my GitHub. So I had a lot of things to put on my GitHub. Um, if I still try to put it in numbers, I would say maybe 2 to 3 hours every day. It was not exactly 2 to 3 hours every day. Sometimes it was like 5 6 hours. Sometimes it was zero. So it was something like that. But if I just take average, it was around 2 to 3 hours. I got admission in Queen Mary University of London for MSc Big Data Science. Can you give me info about the college and course? I personally like the course of Queen Mary University of London, especially Big Data Science, because I had also applied for that and I had offer for that particular course. So I can say that yes, it is a good course. One of my friend is doing his masters from Queen Mary University of London. I think same course. So um, I think it's a good university. It's a good college. It's a good course. So yeah, I if you join, I don't think you would regret because I personally think you will be learning all the important aspects of data science. Is laptop compulsory for BSc computer science in UK, or we can just work in uni lab? You can always just work in university lab. You don't really have to have your own laptop. It's not compulsory at all. Um, MacBook M1. Yes, MacBook is good, but there are a lot of different type of tools in data science world. For example, Power BI. They don't really work very well with Mac OS. So I personally prefer Windows. So yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, a lot of people had Mac OS. They were able to find a workaround. But then yes, they had to find something. It was not as straightforward as installing something on Windows. I'm applying for France as well, which starts in September. But in France, there is 100% internship. Fees plus length of the course are the same as UK. What would you suggest, France or UK? Um, Looking at current state of UK, I would say France is better because you will be part of European region, and also you're saying there is 100% internship. Then yeah, you will be able to get some work experience. So yeah, I would say considering all the factors that you have mentioned here, and also the length of the course is same, fees is also same. So considering all these factors, I would say France is a better option. Roshan, can you highlight some 1 year MSc options in US? Data Science University of Washington and Georgia Tech seems to be offering one. Um, to be very honest, I don't really have any idea about US universities, but I can always look at the course content of these universities and let you know. So for that, what I would want you to do is mention the course name, the exact course name, and the university name in the comments, not in the chat, in the comments of this live Q&A. And once this live session is end, I will look into those course content. I will let you know what I think about the course structure. Masters in data science assignment, easy or hard? Again, it's very subjective, very dependent on the individual. For some people it's easy, for some people it's hard. In my batch, many people they failed in a lot of different modules, so I will say it's definitely not easy. I personally was able to complete, not just me, there were other people as well, they were able to complete their assignment well before time, so 3-4 days before the submission. So I would say it's not super hard. So if I was able to do, I'm pretty sure you will be able to do it too, with the right amount of time and effort that you will invest. Are there more chances of getting data analyst jobs than data scientist? I wouldn't. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Because if you have prepared for data scientist position, which includes data analysis, data engineering, machine learning, deep learning, maybe not. Deep learning is not the most compulsory one. Yes, some companies may ask you if they are using deep learning. So you need to look at the job description very carefully. If they're mentioning PyTorch, TensorFlow, then yes, they are using deep learning and you need to be good at that. So if you have covered all these things, I think you are covered for data science role. And with that kind of skill and knowledge, you should be able to apply for data analyst role as well. So, and is it easy to find data analyst role? I don't know. Is because they will ask you questions from exploratory analysis. They might ask you questions from Python if they're using Python. If they're using R, they will ask you questions related to R. They will ask you quite a lot of statistical questions. They may or may not ask you machine learning questions. So it depends. Yes, of course, you have to learn less concepts for data analyst role. So if you are asking that, yes, it is easy to get data analyst roles. But having said that, it's not like data analyst uh, roles will have easier interviews. And also in terms of number of jobs, um, like I told you, if you are prepared for data scientist role, you will be able to apply for data analysts as well. Which laptop do you use and what are some of the dataset type size you have used till now? The dataset type, it has varied quite a lot. So I've used data from 10 MB to 25 GB to even 50 GB. So I've used data from all the different sizes and shapes. Uh, the laptop which I use is XMG Neo 15. The spec is Ryzen 9, 16 gigs of RAM, RTX 3070. So yeah, that's the basic spec that I have. It's okay, Furkan. Arshan had a question he asked. I actually think um, any kind of doubt, it's not a dumb doubt. It's always good to ask. So I totally understand because some people, if they have understanding about, like Furkan, you seem to have good understanding about master's level. So you do know that yes, assignments are going to be kind of tough, which is really good. But we do get a lot of people from a lot of different background, and it's okay to not know. And that's why I do these kind of live Q&A, so they can ask whatever question they want. So it's totally fine. In your GitHub, I can find assignment sample. How university assignment look like? Yes, that is true. I have put some of the assignments. So whatever assignment I did on open source data, I think I have put those on my GitHub. So yeah, feel free to check out. Can you make a video about GitHub, like to upload the projects? Sure. I will make a note of it and I will make a video. So the problem right now is my laptop is not in working state. I have to take it to the workshop, but I'm just not getting enough time. So as soon as my laptop is fixed, I will certainly do this video. So I have made a note. I will make a video on this. University of Essex, Exeter, or Southampton, which is good for MSc data science. So I think if I had to pick one, I would go for Exeter, then Southampton, and then Essex. That would be my priority. Yeah. So if I had to pick, I will prioritize uh, based on the list which I give you just now: Exeter, Southampton, and then Essex. I have downloaded your data science machine learning 4 PDF notes that you have made. Are they enough to cover the data science machine learning course syllabus of UK University? So did you download the PDF which I have given on Google Drive? I'm non-tech background. Yeah, that's fine, Ashin. I totally understand. And actually, we all understand here, so we are all like-minded people. Yeah, it should be enough. If you cover all those things from that note, you should be able to perform really well in your masters as well as in interviews. I'm going to MSc Data Science at University of Surrey this September. Their course module have NLP as optional. Will you suggest to go with NLP as a module? Yes, why not? If you're interested in natural language processing, I would say go for it. I personally think natural language processing has a good amount of scope in the market. So, if you are interested, surely go for it. Can you explain course modules in Exeter? For that, I need to look at it, but last time when I looked at it, I personally think it's a very good one. And usually, I do these one-to-one sessions with a lot of different people. Um, so we go through these course module together, and I have gone multiple times. It's just I look at a lot of different universities. So in the UK, you have around 120 universities. Out of 120, maybe not all, but I have seen courses of at least 50 to 60 universities. So it's hard for me to remember each and every module uh, for a particular university, but I can say that it's a good one because I also have a kind of a list for Russell Group universities where I have given them the score out of 5. So I've given 4 to um, Exeter. So they are covering all type of things, whatever you need to know as a data scientist. So that's why I think very highly of the course content of Exeter University. And can you name what else good universities I could apply to? Uh, some other good universities could be University College London is good. Mm, University of Nottingham has a good course content. Newcastle University is good. University of Manchester is good. London School of Economics is good. University of Liverpool, University of Leeds, mm, Imperial College London, University of Glasgow, University of Edinburgh, University of Bristol also has a good course content. So yeah, these are the universities which I can name. Are there any other notes for data science ML which you have made? Mm, I'm just trying to think because I remember uh, making something, but I think I haven't completed that or I didn't finish that. Um, so that's why I was thinking, have I uploaded that or not? So if you have downloaded from the Google Drive, I think that is the one which I think is a good one. Apart from that, uh, no, I don't. I won't suggest any other notes that I have created. So that's why I wanted to be clear. If we open a hotel in UK, it will be profit, a good in loss. Um, you can earn good amount of money. I mean, investing in property anywhere in the world is always good. Yes, of course, you have to be very strategic in which city you are doing. So let's say if you open in London, a lot of tourists come there. You will make good money there. So yes, it is a good option. Some of the cities where people come very often are like London, Edinburgh. So those are the bigger cities where if you open a hotel, you will be able to make quite a lot of money. But also do keep in mind that they are very expensive. You're welcome, Ashwin. Well, if you have found this live session to be helpful, do give it a thumbs up. It keeps me motivated to always come live and talk to you guys like this. and I personally enjoy doing this. And next month, uh, around 17th or 16th, whenever I will do a live Q&A, we will be marking 1 year since I have started doing these live sessions. So far I have done like 45 to 50, around that kind of uh, number of live sessions. So I've tried to be very consistent. Yes, there were some times where I could not do, mainly because I was traveling, or maybe I had some health issues. So because of those, but I have been very consistent and have tried to answer as many questions as possible here. So yeah, so it's been exactly 11 months now since we started doing these live Q&A. So it's always nice to have you all, guys here, and we talk like this. I started watching your videos from last month. I get to know a lot of information regarding data science job roles, how to select universities based on module. Your answers are clear and up to the mark. Thank you so much, brother, for your guidance. I applied for MSc Data Science September 23 intake last week, and I got offer from all the universities I applied. Finally, I chose University of Liverpool. Thank you so much for your valuable time and efforts to help me and others grow. I'm glad that you were able to make a wise decision and my videos were of help, because that is exactly what I was trying to achieve. Because if you go to any video, I try to reply to most of the comments. It's not possible for me to reply to everything, is because sometimes what happens is a question is being posted, I get a notification, and if I don't see, and if another question is posted before I see the previous notification, it will be overlapped, and then I can't see the previous one. Of course, I can go to my notification tab and look through all the comments, but that is very time consuming. And but I still try to reply to all the comments on the most recent videos, is because those are the videos which will get more comments. So I try to do it. But then if there is a video which is posted last year, or maybe 2 years back, and if there is a comment, I still try to reply to those. But if I miss somehow, it's very hard for me to go back and reply to those. But still I try to reply to all the comments as well. What's your view on University of Surrey, Guildford? Guildford, I don't know much. Surrey is a good university. Your view on University of Swansea, Dundee, Coventry. Coventry, I know because a lot of people had asked about it. Their course content is good. And I think even I had applied for Coventry University when I was applying for Masters Data Science. I don't know much about Swansea and Dundee. Uh, More so Dundee. Swansea, I think I have seen, but still at this point I can't remember their course content exactly. So was it good or bad? But Coventry is a good university. So, in your view, will there be a heavy reduction in the number of people applying for UK studies, since from January the dependents are not allowed? If yes, the number of jobs would surely increase. Yeah. Um, y- Theoretically, yes, there should be less number of people applying for UK universities. Jobs won't increase, but the number of jobs per candidate should increase, because there will be uh, less number of students. So yes, competition should be less, theoretically, for now. We are already over 1 hour. Um, I usually schedule my day based on this, so I allocate 1 hour for live session, and then after this, I have scheduled a lot of other things to do. Um, if you can just post your questions right away, I will answer that, and you can come back and you can watch that after this. So that way, I think it will work for both of us. I don't know how much time I'll have to wait. So what you can do is you can post your question in the comments. I will answer there. So that should be fine, I guess. Because I was almost about to end this live session because we are already 12 minutes above the scheduled time. The live sessions are very helpful to get to know about data science field. Frankly, these sessions help me to finalize my college. Thank you. You're welcome, Akash. I'm glad to know that. Okay, then, and no problem. You can always ask your question in the comments, or you can join next time if you'd like to. Thanks, bro. I have all the info needed for me. I really appreciate your live session. All the best, Vijay. Accreditation for BSc is important while choosing university. No, it is not. Even I used to think like that, but when I actually looked into the course content, the universities which are not accredited to BSc, they have good course content. Is because if you are accredited with BSc, you are entitled to include some of the modules which I think are not that important. So yeah, I would say it's not that important. University of East London is good for MSc Data Science. I would say yes. I think their course content was good, and also in their campus there is an Amazon office. So hopefully you should be able to make some contacts there, and you should be getting to Amazon. Okay, everyone, have a good weekend and enjoy your rest of the Saturday. I will see you guys next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. Bye.